So what is up? Happy Sunday. A lot of events have been going on the past couple of days. I was debating whether I should do this video or if I felt like doing this video. And I decided to go ahead and do it. It's going to be my review of this year's Shark Week. Something I look forward to every year. I've been into it since 2010. The show that got me into it was Ultimate Air Jaws. That's the, special where these shark photographers figured in like South Africa, the great white sharks would leap out of the water to attack seals for food, and it was cool. It's cool, and this is the first. It was the first one where they used the phantom camera that shoots like 1,000 frames per second, so they get that super slow mo, and that just got me hooked on Shark Week. So this year, like last year, like a couple years ago, there was a problem where with Shark Week where they had a few years ago they did the Shaq vs. Shark, and Shaquille O'Neal was the host of the Shark Week, and it was a big hit. I enjoyed that one too. I found Shaq very funny. He's actually a really funny guy. I like him a lot better than when he was actually playing basketball. I couldn't stand Shaquille O'Neal, but now he actually seems like a really cool guy. So, but that turned Discovery on to really doing a lot of stuff with celebrities. It became about the celebrities meeting sharks and stuff, and that stuff I totally didn't care for. So I think it was like last year they moved away from that and moved back into the science of preserving shark preservation and the science of studying the sharks. And they brought a lot more of the scientists back. So like this week, I think it started out pretty strong. Started with Belly of the Beast. And this one wasn't my favorite. It's kind of, they were looking for the queen boss, and that was just weird. And it was all, you could tell they're trying to do the ESG thing, but it had all female scientists, and and I don't like that. And a lot in the rest of this year they did have a lot more like female scientists, but they didn't like, it was like one or two and a couple men, and that seems more natural. You aren't trying to like, oh, clearly we had like an all-female crew, which is an unnecessary. And they had a name Queen Boss for the shark, which seems very like a modern name, and it got pretty annoying. Then it was Jaws versus Leviathan, and I'm not too big. That's not my favorite one either. Where it's they had the made up if a shark faced giant squid, or if a shark faced the megalodon. And this year is the Leviathan, which is the whale that the Leviathan from Moby Dick is based on, the white whale. And that's cool. That's cool because they study the sharks. You get them looking at sharks, but they have a lot of like bad CG simulations of a Leviathan, and they end with bad CG shark versus Leviathan. And what was the next one? Was the Makozilla. That was pretty fun. I like seeing the Makos. Need some more coffee. And one more notes. I ran out of time to write notes, but yeah. And like past years too was better about this. Okay, there's one thing that bothered me this year. I feel like there was a couple that I saw that were copywritten for 2023. So I'm not sure if I missed these or if these were holdovers or if they were re-airing specials from the past. And and if that's so, that disappoints me, because I was expecting, I'm usually expecting something new, something they just did, unless this was like a holdover from last year. And I don't know, last year I didn't catch all the shows. This year I tried to, currently I work overnight, so it's a little hard. I was like watching at work, and currently I have a job where I can get away with watching stuff on my phone, because opposed to past years, I didn't allow headphones or watching stuff. Another sip. What bothering me about past years is that it would start out real strong, to have a lot of the documentary on them swimming with the sharks and stuff, but then it would kind of get, and maybe this is why it may have Oh, back to that. There's another one. I don't know if you saw this one. That was the alien. I like the Alien Shark series, but it's Alien Sharks: Ghosts of Japan. Where they're gonna look for alien sharks. But I swear, and I looked it up, and it was copywritten for 2024. But I felt like I saw footage from that before, and I'm not sure if they completely re-aired that or if I gotta go back and look in maybe the past one they had. Maybe it was, I can't remember if it was just a little segment of it. I don't know if you watched that one, but there was a part where they're in Japan. They go on the Japanese fishing boat, and I remember that part. Him he didn't like the way they fished. His old way of fish. They ends up catching a lot of sharks and killing a lot of sharks. But I remember them going on that boat. I forgot what type of shark it was that they fish out of water. It's that long black one. And I remember them putting it out and they put it in the water and it was having babies on the boat. And I remember that happened in the past. So I don't know if they used some of that footage in the past special or if they aired that special before. All right. Then, all right, now back to my other point was that what I like they did this year, and I guess what makes it a little better is that it was more of the specials of them, getting in the water with sharks, really studying them versus like past years where I feel that they start off, they have a bunch of those, but then they end towards like the end of the week. They just air a bunch of like when sharks attack, and those aren't really my favorite. I mean, those are okay sometimes, where it's just eyewitness footage and someone's phone footage of someone getting attacked by a shark, and those kind of bore me because I think a lot of them are just kind of the same. When I'd rather see the video of them studying the sharks, swimming with the sharks. Now I don't know if it's true. I don't know what you guys think, but there was a couple. I've heard some complaints that there's CG. They use CG for some of the sharks and some of the animals, and I don't think so. I don't think I really saw that. Maybe like even the one I forgot the one where they had the volcano and underwater and it was pluming up in this black stuff. And sometimes like I guess I can't tell it's real, but they're using you can tell they're using such high definition cameras that people don't typically use. It has a very high frame rate, so everything's very, very clear. While in the past we're used to, slower frame rate, not that high resolution. So, to our eyes, maybe it looks too good to us, and maybe it would look different if we were there in person looking at this. And people think CG because most people think when they're watching movies have a very slow frame rate. So even like sometimes I think for TV shows or certain TV shows where they use digital tape or shoot digitally, and when they use tape or you shoot digital, you can shoot at a very high frame rate. But no, to give it like a film effect, they'll slow the frame rate down so it looks more like you're watching a movie or something that was filmed on film. But there was only one part in the last one. I'm not sure what it was here. I think I have the schedule here. See, either Monster Hammerhead or Sharktopia, where no, I think it was a Monster Hammerhead. They were diving in the water. There was like nothing there. It was very clear, but there was like looked like a barracuda swimmed up on them and kind of swam away. And to me, that looked a little fake, like a little CG. And maybe it was there. I don't know. I was kind of tired when I was watching it, so. And actually, so I like that one. What was my favorite? Maybe my favorite was the Expedition Unknown. And I don't watch that show that much, but maybe that one was Shark versus Nazi in Paradise, where I didn't know this, but I guess they were using sharks to find these sunken ships from World War II. And I didn't know this, and they brought up too how a lot of people don't know that there was a German submarine that sunk, let's say, 400 or 600 U.S. ships in the Gulf of Mexico, like right here by America, and I didn't know that. And apparently, they said it was covered up and hidden by the government because they didn't want a panic started. And that one I found real interesting. I forgot which boat it was, but they're looking for a certain boat that was an oil tanker that was sunk back then. So it was still full of oil and it was leaking to the surface. So they're trying to find that boat, I guess, so they can drain the oil before it causes a big natural disaster out there. Harms the environment, the ecosystem. And there's a cool part where they actually go find a abandoned radar tower out in the middle of like the ocean, and it was actually pretty cool to me because it was interesting to me because it was a tower that went down and there was all these legs, and I can't think of like how do you do that? How do you build a structure all the way to the bottom of the sea, all the way to the top? I don't know how they would do that. Maybe comment if you know how. you know. What else? Great White North is pretty interesting. I don't know. They're getting a bunch of sharks up in Canada now. They say they're coming up from like what do they call it? Massachusetts. Where Cape Cod from like Jaws, famous one. Let me look here a little more. It's kind of blurry. Was it? Yeah, and was it the 600-pound shark? That was interesting. First time I saw a shark poop on someone. And that was Tuesday's show. Shark in the Dead Zone. Shark Attack Island. Oh, did I miss the real Sharknado? I might have missed that one. I might have to go back and look for that. Hey, I did miss one. So anyway, it's actually a pretty good year. I like that they're going back to the science and, I guess off-topic comment. They, like I said, they did have more like female scientists, and there are a couple that were actually pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. Was it Rosa was one of them? I forgot the other one. Anyway, I like that. I hope it continues to do well. They do this again next year. But I was thinking, I don't have enough followers on it here, so I was thinking maybe if I get another job, I can do like a watch party or something. So, let me know what you thought of Shark Week this year. Leave comments. You tell me my opinion. Stupid. I don't care. See ya.